forthcoming debut album, it started out as a venture that was scheduled for 2 months, turned into 18 months. How valuable do you feel the aspect of patience is coming into this?
Well, for me, I'm like an expert at sort of patience, because I always change my mind, and I'm always writing a lot of music. So I'll write a group of songs, and then 2 weeks later I'll write another dozen songs. So for me, it was just a blessing to have somebody like the guy I was working with, the producer Justin Raisin, like sort of just go with my weird way of working, because he committed to work with me for 2 months, and then he stayed on for the full 18, and it was just like, okay, so what's the next group of songs we're gonna do? So it was cool.
And working, with an approach of having analog to tape, I mean, what do you feel the benefits with this approach do you, that allows you to excel, so to speak?
Well, you make decisions fast, because you can't manipulate it too much like you can in the computer. So you also capture a snapshot of people playing as a group, and you get that sort of that energy, which I feel like is something I really wanted to have my album. So like the length of time normally when people would probably work for 18 months would be on tweaking tracks or whatever, and us was just like constantly recording new songs.
With this record, you mentioned it's not linear at all. You enjoy all genres, and you're fusing psych rock, hip hop, elements of pop, and what's that like for you? Does that allow you to excel more so to know that you're going to fuse these elements within your music?
Yeah, for me, I think everybody these days, everybody's listening to so many different types of genres. Ever since the invention of streaming and iPods and things, it's just like you can listen to hip hop. Next song could be classical. Next song could be indie pop or reggae, whatever you want. So for me, it feels natural. Like when I listen to a new Rihanna album, she's like genre hopping all over it, and it sounds great to me. And a lot of hip hop and do that. Like Kendrick Lamar, obviously, has thrown the rule book out. If he wants jazz guitar on one song or a hip hop drum beat on another, he's just like free flowing like that, and so I respect that a lot. And that's how my brain works. Is just whatever I'm in the mood.
Absolutely. And you pride your ideas through the ideas of your friends too, and you mentioned the crazy things that they go through really helps to inform your material too.
Yeah, I look at songwriting in my music as sort of like it's how I guess a director would make a film or something. Like I'll take other people's stories and write about them, or I'll take a story between me and this group of people and write about it. But it always comes from like my family of friends or
absolutely
associates.
Let's talk about some of the great material we've heard from you so far. I mean, Designer Babies, you've got Kim Gordon on board, to help nurture the sound. I mean, what was it like, the experience to have someone so legendary and, with your low voice working so well with the instrumentation of the song? I mean, it all came together. You've got Active Child on there as well, and Stella from Warpaint. I mean, that must have been some experience for you.
Yeah, that was probably the most fun that I had in the studio in my whole life, because I'm like allergic to recording studios. I like the songwriting process and I love performing live, but studios are boring to me. And yeah, it was great. We just Kim Gordon's been a major influence on me as far as a musician and a lyricist, and Justin Raisin, I reached out to her to see if she'd want to come to the studio and just try some stuff, and she responded. I just have such respect for her lyric writing. And I don't know if many people have actually dived into her lyric writing, but to me her lyric writing is at the level of William Burroughs poetry or something.
Absolutely. And the end was always so alluring. It came out so well. What's great is you've had such stellar reviews for your videos, and you've had Floria Stickers on board, who's worked with the likes of David Bowie, Bjork, The Cure, and she just has a knack for whatever is in your head, kind of projecting that, bringing it to life. I mean, how amazing is it to work with somebody who's so renowned?
Yeah, I mean, visuals to me are just as important as the song or the songwriting or the musicians. So to find a collaborator like Floria, who's a genius, was a sort of a godsend to me, because my project's so driven by the visuals and the ideas that I have, and she was able to translate that into the videos that we've created. So hopefully that will continue.
And speaking of visuals, I mean, movies influence your work, you mentioned, more than anything. I mean, Have there been any recent ones that have seeped into your ideas and your perspectives in recent times?
I just saw The Danish Girl and I really loved that.
Mhm.
So as far as and I saw the Gaspar Noé's Love. I love, as far as past movies that have influenced, I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks from like Requiem for a Dream, Clint Mansell, like sort of the modern composers of film music to me feel like as relevant as a pop artist.
What ideas do you have in mind for the live translation of your shows and your material? How would you like to project it, and like what's key, what's fundamental when you're on stage?
I'm very loose about that idea. I go with the flow in the moment. I have my different sides of my personality, my alters that I put in my videos, and those will appear on stage, and sometimes many will appear on stage, sometimes one, sometimes none. Sometimes I'll play with a full band, sometimes I'll play by myself. It's just sort of like whatever I'm in the mood, and the group of musicians that I have around me are open to that, so it works really well. Yeah.
In terms of your alters, I mean, you get to explore every corner of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
How fulfilling is that for you? I mean, you've mentioned that everybody has alters, everybody's got it, but you just explore it in a way which is like so well regarded. I mean, what's it like for you? Do you feel gratified, liberated?
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of worn my different shades of my personality on my sleeve since I was very young. And when I was young, my mother thought I had an identity crisis, and then I went and saw, I'm Jewish, so she sent me to see my rabbi. My rabbi identified me just a highly creative person. So at that point, my mother accepted it, and so ever since then, I've sort of just worn who I am on my sleeve, maybe more so than other people.
And what can you tell us about the following tweet? Grocery shopping is therapy.
It is therapy. You got the stress of a day. You've got bill collectors or different shit like haunting you, and so like what I like to do is go to a grocery store like late at night when it's like empty, and just like with the shopping cart, just like look at the boxes, and it just like something about it feels like meditation or something.
And you're also, I mean, speaking of unwinding, you're a nomad. You like to go to the desert to escape. I mean, what kind of clarity does that give you?
Well, I'm from Missouri, and Missouri has this place called the Ozark Mountains, and my family has a cabin there, and so I like to go there. And then when I moved out to California, it was like a dream come true because I love the desert. So I go to Joshua Tree at least twice a month, and then you also have the ocean, so I'll go like Malibu, Big Sur area, even, and escape. It's perfect for somebody like me.
Yeah, and it seeps into your songwriting as well.
Oh yeah, I've written so many songs in Joshua Tree and Big Sur. I mean, that it's I don't know what I would do without those two places because they're just perfect for me. Certain people have like those energy points where you like feel creative. Like those are the particular places for me.
What excites you as you look ahead?
I like just being me, and so being me is sort of maybe different than how other people would project themselves, but I just want to continue just being whatever I want to be, whomever I want to be, and writing in whatever genre I want. If it's even if I'm not singing, like I see myself moving into a realm one day where I won't. It's just be instrumental,